A lot of you ask us about the quartering process. Well, if you go and watch our gutless video out on YouTube, out on Amazon, out on just about anywhere, you'll see how we do the quartering, which is getting it to this process here. And then a lot of you ask, what do we do as far as the process of getting it out? What do we take out first? Well, last night we took out the heart, the liver, tenderloins, back straps, and all the trim meat. So this morning we came back, we let everything cool, bone in, put it in a spot where the wind would get to it. Last night it got down in the 20s, the meat's in great shape. And the next step we're gonna do is, because so many people ask, how do you bone one of these things out? And it's pretty simple. It's just like you do it at home. It's the same way I do it when I'm processing on my kitchen countertop. This piece, the bowl was facing, like I'm facing the camera, and there was a gap like this, and you got hit right there. That's, I believe that, yeah, that's this broken shoulder. So this one's gonna need to be trimmed up. You don't wanna carry out a bunch of bloodshot meat that you're not gonna work with at home. It's just gonna end up spoiling some of your other meat. And if you're asking what game bags these are made by Caribou Game Bag Company out of Colorado. They're reusable, they're synthetic, so they let moisture get through really quickly, which in an arid place like Arizona is not that big of a deal. But in other places I hunt, you want to make sure that moisture gets out of there, especially if you're going to be in there for a few days. And when I go home, wash these in the utility sink, bleach them a little bit, and they'll be just like new. So this is the front shoulder that doesn't have a bullet entry wound like the other one did. So you'll see there's a bone that runs right here. Would this be called the scapula, Wade?
Would be.
And so I'm gonna go and I'm gonna cut on each side of it, this side and this side, and then you can just fillet all of this meat right off this bone, and then this bone will come out and you'll have one great big chunk of meat. So you see right here, this ridge, this was the scapula right here. And so underneath here, the scapula comes down and the bone goes just like that. So you're gonna see I'm able to just get on this end here, and it's really easy to just fillet this off the top of the scapula. And you just take your knife and go along that bone, just like you would do if you were at home in the kitchen or wherever you do your processing. So you see that? I'd cut down here, and then I just filleted right off. And then I'm gonna repeat on this side, and then we'll be able to lift that scapula off and cut this big shoulder of meat away. So right here is the edge of the scapula. So then what I do is I just start cutting underneath that. All right, now I'm gonna come around the top, and I'm gonna just peel this away from that big knuckle joint there. Right here is the knuckle joint, right there. So you see what we got here? Voila. How's that, huh, folks? That doesn't make you hungry? Well, go buy some, I don't know, candy bar or something. You want that joint down there for that, what do you call that?
Sabuco.
Sabuco?
Oso
buco. Huh. Tell how much of it I've eaten.
That's one of those pieces of meat that's often wasted.
I was gonna say it's a great way to cook that piece.
So now we have this big chunk of meat. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this natural muscle group right here, come up there, and I'm gonna peel all of this off this bone that goes there. So that's that oak, so I can't even pronounce it. So what do you, starts with an S?
Starts with an O.
Osso Boko?
So buco.
Buco.
Close enough.
Buco.
It's like coos and cows.
Yeah. So there you go, folks. Here is one humongous chunk of meat that has not been shot up at all. When we get home, this gets all trimmed up into whatever you want. A lot of people will make specialty meats out of it. There's roasts on there. Got it?
Got it.
So is Clayton our Osso Buco guy?
He is. He's done it before. Have you made that stuff before?
Yeah.
So you'll freeze it, and then you'll cut it into like 2-inch.
Yeah.
You'll use a cast iron, and you'll sear it, and then you'll cook it real slow.
So this joint, does it come off really?
Oh yeah, I usually, well, this right here is usually cut it out, but to here, and then you don't even need this piece here. It's just wherever that meat shank is, and most of it's right there.
Huh. Cool. So right here you can see this is the ball socket in the hip joint. So this was his rear left leg. And you can follow the muscle groups all the way along here and peel that away and just lift this whole femur bone out of there. And then once you do that, you trim this away, and then you can get all of this shank meat off there pretty easy. One disclaimer to all of this is everybody who's watching, who does their own processing at home, has their own way of doing it. And I'm not saying there's a right way or a wrong way. I'm just saying the goal is to get the bone out and leave as many of the muscles intact as possible. You can see that femur in there. And you just kind of feel it with your knife where it is. It's not like this perfect little thing. It's kind of got another part to it over here. And as Ty's putting pressure out on that end, it's pronouncing where this is a lot easier. Cut that real quick. All right, can you start rolling this, Ty? I can't even tell you how much easier it is to do it in the daylight with the assistance of a guy who's done it before, and to get to pick what semi-flat surface you're going to do it on.
If I am close to the pickup, I have started packing out the bones for bone broth.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And
Well, you listen to podcasts, and there's talk about how healthy that stuff is. So.
Does it put hair on your head?
No. In fact, not having hair on your head makes you faster, Randy.
Really?
Yeah. You can get through the woods faster.
Huh, that's my problem then. All right. There you go, folks. Let's show them what that is. This was, we started with the ball joint up here. We took all the muscles off there. Here's the knee joint. I'll go and get the kneecap or whatever that is off there. So there you have it, folks. That's how you do a hind quarter. Showed you how to do a front quarter. Just repeat the process on the other ones. We're gonna throw this back in that game bag, and it's gonna weigh a lot less than it did. It's gonna be able to fit in your pack a little better. I'm gonna finish this last hind quarter and we're gonna be out of here. Thanks for watching.